All right, day five weigh-in, same conditions, and wow, pretty good. So that's quite a bit down. Yesterday was a rest day, and I did not work out yesterday, and I ate like 8 hours ago or 9 hours ago. Fantastic.
Pretty interesting weigh-in this morning. I haven't been that low in a long time. In the months, last year of riding really hard, I would, I'd always never get below 81 and a half kilos. And I'd ride really hard all week and then, eat high carb, low fat and wonder why I never lost any weight. And then I'd look at myself in pictures and I'd go, I'm a little heavy. And then I'd go, I'd be a lot faster on the bike if I just lost 5 kilos. And it seemed impossible. And I'd go, and you're sitting there saying, well, maybe it's because I'm 52, or maybe it's because I got fat before, maybe my metabolism has changed. And you watch some videos and people will tell you, well, it's your set point has changed. So there's a theory out there, um, and I suppose it's supposedly reputable, that once a person's become overweight and then loses the weight, supposedly your body your body reduces its metabolism and fights very hard to keep the weight on. So it'll increase your appetite, it'll reduce your metabolism. So it's just that much easier for you, and your muscles become more efficient. So it'll be a lot easier for you to just balloon back up to your original weight. And then they'll also say that the set point also protects lean people from getting fat because it's kind of contradictory and it doesn't really make any sense. I know that they've had massive amounts of studies and they've identified the role of leptin in the set point regulation, but of course, when they do experiments injecting leptin into you after you've lost weight, it doesn't really have all the effects that they expected. Otherwise, it would be a miracle drug. So um, I think the real reason, the simple reason why people are heavier than they want to be, no matter, or people will exercise, but some people, not everyone, but a lot of people, I see plenty of people on the bike that are heavy, right? They bike all the time and they don't look like Chris Froome, you know? So that's because we overeat, because it's fun. It tastes good. It's palatability, you know? Uh, if you're eating standard American diet, you certainly overeat. And even if you eat vegan, a lot of people are really thin. A lot of people are amazingly thin. But some people, like me, I will eat more than I need. So the reason why the potato diet is getting results is because, or giving me results, is because for a few reasons. One of them has got to be palatability. I don't sit there and go, oh wow, I want to go eat more potatoes. It's like, yeah, I guess I'm hungry. Yeah, what can I make? Microwave potato. All right, whatever. And there's just no variety. And I really suggest that you buy a book. I think it's called The End of Overeating. I don't know who the author is, but they will. It's an eye-opening book. Even though we all know we overeat, uh, it really lends some really interesting insights that um, you probably you wouldn't think of it at first, but once you hear it, you go, "Oh yeah, that seems obvious." But so, this is actually not from The End of Overeating, but like a guy that I know at the casino who deals there, Johnny, would tell me things like, in a pretty heavy accent, he'd go, in the olden days, you'd have to go hunt and you'd have to go chase your food or find it. And now your food comes to you, right? So the worst case, you have to drive up to it. So, it goes without saying that all the added sugar, salt, and fat, and it's pretty obvious that we all know that these things will make us overeat. So you could still overeat on a vegan diet. I mean, it's the if you are exercising and overeating on a vegan diet, you're not going to be obese. You're going to be relatively thin to everybody else. But if you really want to get thin, let's say you want for whatever reason, you want to lose weight for the bike, you have to be mindful of what you're doing. You're not going to starve yourself. There's no calorie restriction. But what you're avoiding is just mindlessly eating. Everybody kind of knows this, you would think. But people instead will blame wheat, Oh yeah, that's the reason why I'm losing weight this time on the potato diet, because I stopped eating bread. And people will swear to that. And they'll say, I don't know why. I mean, yeah, they're right in a sense. Yeah, bread I will inhale. I'll bake a nice loaf, and I'll eat the whole thing, probably with butter, on the couch, okay? Now, is it because bread's bad for you, or is it because a loaf of bread is bad for you? It's easy to inhale wheat. Bread, easy to inhale. Pasta, a little bit harder, but it's pretty dense. When you're eating just potatoes, it's harder. Okay, anyway, enough of the rant. I'm going to make some hash browns, and that Thai curry potato stew I made last night is pretty good. And I have to admit that russets are good when you want, if you're making a sauce and pouring it over potatoes, russets are good because they're dry and chalky, so it kind of soaks it up better. Otherwise, and I'm also going to use russets for the hash browns just because I'm used to it. But other than that, I don't really like russets. Okay.